Live from Los Angeles, California. It's Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jezza Moye. We are America's first live streaming daily lifestyle talk show. We are coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And so we've got a great show in store for you. It's all about hashtag Transformation Tuesday.
Transformation time.
Right? So if you want to be real, raw, and relevant, you want to watch this show. We're going to dive into everything from nail polish to makeovers on the hair, you name it. So stay tuned, right? Who's the guest today?
Absolutely. We have a very special guest, Kim Vo, today. A great interview with him talking about his journey as an entrepreneur and as an artist. He's known as one of the best blonders in the business. He's got that show, Sheer Genius. He was a judge on that. He's got a new show coming out next year, early 2018, called The Look All Stars.
He's
Wow.
He is.
And we have Nail and Bone. We have Steve Wiseman and Missy. And back there also, we're going to do two interviews. Incredible,
yes,
right?
Some puppies.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Lots of puppies in the house, puppy love.
Yeah, can't wait to hear.
So, what's up, you guys? Let's check in. I want to know,
Checking
how are
in.
my peeps? How are my best friends doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Yeah.
We're looking.
I know, it's
we're looking
amazing that we
like,
actually make this happen
right?
without trying. I'm pretty impressed by that.
And you guys don't see it, but
Look at
Rob's
me.
got. You got to show the shoes. Because you've
Oh,
got
yeah.
like
Let me
these
see.
Oh
the
my
shoes
gosh,
match the
boat
scarf, that
shoes.
match the little orange.
I'm telling you, I'm
and
just
the
trying to
right.
keep up with you guys.
You
You
know,
guys always look so
In the
great.
theme of Transformation Tuesday, I
Yeah.
think it's really important to point out how looks can transform the way you feel and the way you present yourself.
Wow.
And I know that's been really true to you, Rob, in your business.
Yeah, Jeslyn, just killing it. It's such a great point, you know? It's interesting because I am kind of a guy who always talks about like feeling good from the inside out, you know? But clothes definitely help, you know, something that you feel comfortable in, confident in. It's been extremely helpful to me. Sometimes it just gets you in the right mindset, you know? So when I'm having a professional conversation, even if it's not, you know, in person and it's just over the phone, because I like to put on a professional outfit. It just helps me get in the mindset.
I have a few friends literally have reached out saying, okay, so I want to know Rob's, like where he's, I'm like, well, he owes me a few favors. So maybe like, give me a lowdown of what he's wearing. So it's no joke. Like people are watching you. They're impressed by, I mean, I'm thinking I need to wear a scarf around my neck just to keep up with
You have such a beautiful neck.
I know.
Throw it up, right? Yeah.
Aaron, what is it that you do to like transform the way you feel by transforming the way you look?
I really do believe that it helps. There's no question about it. The other day when I wasn't feeling well, as you guys know, I was sick for some time, and I started feeling better, and I was like, okay, I got myself all ready just because I just thought, I know it takes me to that next level of when I'm feeling good and just being able to go out and just, I don't know what it is. You know, you put yourself together in a really nice outfit, you put yourself, you know, clean yourself up and, you know, just got it going on.
It's amazing how it does actually change the way you feel on the inside, which is something you kind of wouldn't expect. Doesn't seem all that intuitive. And by the way, you never, even though you were sick, you always look so incredibly fresh. It's amazing, right? Didn't you look?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. So one time I had this horrible haircut, talk about Transformation Tuesday, and these long locks turned into an asymmetrical mullet. And I had a serious identity crisis. I was transformed and not in a good way. So what would you recommend people do to put a positive spin on that if they're not looking or feeling their best?
Yeah.
How do you change that? How do you deal?
Good question.
Good question.
What did you do?
Great question.
I left
Right?
town. I left town. I went to New York. I hit out
you
in
catch a
Mexico. Yeah, no, literally, I caught a plane because I couldn't work in LA because, you know, when I was modeling, I am how I look.
Yeah.
So I went and I, you know, regrouped in New York, worked in Mexico City, got some crazy hair extensions, but I had a really hard time wrapping my head around all of that.
It's amazing the ways in which how we look affects how we think about ourselves, right? Like we're so affected by that, so deeply affected by that. And it's interesting. I've grown my hair out before, and I've had it completely chopped off, and it definitely sort of changes not only how I feel about myself, but also how other people feel about you, or how they interact with you.
question.
You know, so one of the things for me, there's a couple of things that I try to do to sort of get around that. I love clothes, I love looking good, no question about it. And at the same time, I like remembering that at my very core, I'm not just a physical body. It's so easy to get caught up in that. And I'm not just what I wear, I'm not just this face. You know, that's the long-term answer. Short-term answer is, I think sometimes just leaning into it right?
Right.
So if you got the mullet, you just lean in and say, look, I'm having a Britney moment right now.
You know what I love to do, though? You know what I love to do
Yeah.
is work what you got. So,
Yeah.
like, one thing we do with girlfriends is we, go into our closets with what we have. There's so many pieces in there that you haven't worn or whatever that if you pull everything out and you start putting things with new items within your clothes, I'm like amazed, like, oh, I didn't even know that was in here. So getting your girlfriends together or guy friends or whatever and just kind of using what you have. Also, if your hair, instead of chopping it or instead of like going, oh, this is the worst thing ever, go get a blowout and have them do it totally different than you would normally do it, because you probably have a lot more to work with than you think.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it is an opportunity sometimes when those kinds of things happen. Easy to say now, of course, in
Right.
hindsight, but it isn't an opportunity sometimes to take on a new identity for a little while or try something risky that you wouldn't have tried before. Like I said, it's a lot easier said than done. I don't have that much
Hats
hair.
work really well too.
Hats are very helpful, yes,
Right.
yes. Or just go to Kimbo and have it worked out.
There you go.
Yes, that's probably the best answer.
Speaking of Kimbo, he is part of the Focus TV family, and he did a really great series, My Life series, in 60 seconds. Let's take a look.
I'm Kim Vo, owner of Kim Vo Salons, and this is my life. So my life's all about being redemptive, being raw, real, and relevant. Meaning, I started as a refugee with my mother from Vietnam, came here. My mother worked in nail salons, so I grew up in nail salons. What got me to LA is I knew that LA was going to be one of the places I've always wanted to be. Coming here, I worked with fabulous people, Christophe, Privé, Laurent. What's amazing about that is they put me and propelled me to the stars. Doing reality shows, I was able to do Extreme Makeover, Sheer Genius, many makeovers. Also, opening my own salons. Guess what? I've got my first salon, but the market crashed 2008, but we're still there. 9 years later, here we are, and this is my life.
Such a great little clip. I love that. I stole that from you, Kimbo, about the raw, real, and relevant. I love that.
It's a mouthful. Man, it just rolled off his tongue so easily.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of the things I love
I'm not
about
gonna go
Kim are his Kim-isms. I mean, he's got such this unique personality. He just knows how to put it and make it sound so good.
Yeah.
And he's in the montage, right? Is that correct?
He's got several salons, Kimbo Salons. One is in the montage. He also owns B2V. It's on Doheny and Santa Monica, right down the street from our West Hollywood studio. And also another salon in Laguna Beach at the montage.
How does he do this
Wow,
all?
like, really?
It's
Right?
insane. Multiple TV shows, multiple salons, and it's just one of him.
Just one of him.
Yeah.
But he's nonstop and he's so positive. I'm so excited for you guys to see
And
this
he's
interview.
actually working. Like when we went to Montage, what was that, a couple weeks ago? We stopped in to say hi to him, and he was actually working on a client. It wasn't like he just has a salon and is handing it off.
No, he is there and he is hands-on. He is making this blonde community in LA look real good.
And an interesting, really compelling story too, backstory.
Absolutely, yeah. He's actually an immigrant. He and his mom moved here when he was 9.
Wow. Refugees, I think.
Refugees, yeah, to pursue the American dream, transforming his life. Hashtag Transformation Tuesday.
I love that. That's such a great story. And I mean, it's funny because being a blonde, I mean, I would try and go darker, and I remember I'd freak out, like, put the blonde back in,
Who am I?
And so the whole new style of having dark roots and then blonde at the end has really been my savior. I get to be blonde and I get to not deal with as many roots.
Takes the pressure
so,
off.
right.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, which brings up the whole point about living colorfully and how much colors affect our lives, not only in our hair, but on our fingernails. And that's what's so great about later in the show. We're going to show you our interview with Steve Weissman, co-founder of Nail and Bone. And he's really like polished for a purpose, passion for change, giving back to the community, and making it beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
They're so passionate about it. They're so passionate about the community. They're so passionate about their own purpose around it, and just being, they're such a huge, generous spirit.
So what do you think the biggest transformation you've ever had in your life has been?
Oh my gosh, wow. The biggest transformation ever was from suicidal to blissfully happy, And that's, that was an experience for a while. It was like very, very slow, inch by inch, but I would say that for certain, it was an emotional one, and a spiritual one, I guess.
And that's, I mean, thank you for coming out with that, because I think there's so many people that would never speak that into existence. And I mean, whether people are suicidal or just, feeling like I don't want to live,
Yeah.
like I don't know who hasn't felt that, you know, whether they would take their lives or not is a totally different story, but just feeling that in a moment, I'm sure everybody's felt that at some point. So,
But Rob, how long was that transformation for you?
It was years. I mean, over a decade. You know, now it didn't take a decade to get to a place where I felt stable, but it took a decade to get to a place where I felt sort of more in control, I suppose. So yeah, it was a while. You know, it was a process, and I didn't really have anyone that was sort of guiding me or leading that change for me. So that makes it a little more difficult.
how about you, Jess?
Yeah. What about you?
The biggest transformation?
Yeah.
You know, I think I'm still coming through it. I think the biggest thing for me was that when I hurt my hand about 4 years ago, it was really a crossroads in my life. I really was forced into a place where, one, not only was I a full-time patient, just focused on my health and wellness, not able to work and only take care of myself, it really transformed the way I thought about myself, the way I felt about myself, and my entire lifestyle, really. I think that now just coming out on the other side of that, I'm still going through it, but it was the biggest transformation of my life.
And what's so incredible to me about that, Jessalyn, is you never complained about it. It's mind-blowing to me. Had you not shared it with us here on the show, I would never know. You know, you do everything right. It's incredible. Absolutely. It really is inspiring.
Most people would be like, yeah, I can't do that. My arm's sorry.
Yeah,
I would
Rob.
like to do that, but I can't. My arm. Like,
Jessalyn is just
you
the
know,
opposite.
right?
She's like, hey, can you give me that? I'll carry that too. It's amazing. Yeah.
So
about you?
I say that we go, well, I think most people have heard my drill.
trying to-
I tell
trying to
too
get
much
out.
stuff on this show. I'm all going to go now. Everyone
Right.
my transformation.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know, you have heard my story of having a stillborn at 22. And for me, that transformation was really about feeling like I was the effect of life to feeling like I truly am the cause over my life. That was what the real significance of that was. Feeling like, how could life be so cruel, and realizing that all of life is actually meant for our awakening and working for us behind the scenes, right?
So powerful.
Right?
Really powerful. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people would have come out the other side of that. They would have seen their life as more an effect, less of a cause, right? And you're saying that you saw just the
happen.
other way around. You saw yourself as the cause.
That
really
was a
powerful.
lot of nails against the chalkboard, scratching. I don't want to be the cause. I like to be a victim. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
So anyway, guys, I think we should get back there because we've got 2 interviews today. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, so stay tuned, you guys, as we go to Kimbo and Nail and Bone. We've got some incredible interviews. Stay tuned.
And we're back on Good Morning La La Land, and I am with Kim Vo, colorist to the stars, icon in Los Angeles. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. God, great to be here.
Absolutely. First of all, I have to say I was so nervous because last time I had my hair done, I got it done by Mr. Kim Vo at your salon, and you're coming on the show today, and I wanted to do you proud. Thank you.
You look great. Come on. But you know, like I was saying to you earlier, their clients always do that. I run them to the supermarket and they're like, don't look at my hair. And I'm like, I really don't. But yes.
But you
know,
really do. Can you ever turn off the hairdresser? I mean, can you ever
I don't
turn
think
the
you can
stylist
ever,
off?
you cannot. That's the honest truth. You can never turn off the hairdresser. But honestly, I don't like judge him for it. I don't sit there, you know, if I can do something right there and then I don't do anything. I just say, I'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, actually, your roots are giving me anxiety. So why don't you schedule an appointment?
There's dirty and there's flirty. You're at the flirty, but when you get dirty, you got to come see me with your roots.
Ooh, I love that. I want to talk to you about your business. Obviously, this has been a big journey for you.
What a journey.
Success, failures. What have been your
Yes.
biggest successes?
You know, my biggest successes, I would say, is breaking into this business. I was lucky enough to do reality TV. I was on Extreme Makeover, one of my big show, ABC, the makeovers for 5 years. Then I did E! Entertainment for another 5 years on with doing trend reports and just television in general. and I think really that really propelled me, but also got me really ready for fashion trends, how they start, how they get inspired, where they go. Is it from the air? Do people just make it up? Or really, is there any grassroots to it? Is there any fundamentals to it? So it was really great to see that process and that there is a formula for all that.
And what do you think was your biggest takeaway from the success of you as a television personality and a stylist?
I'll tell you it was honestly the biggest takeaway was that this whole new social media that's going on, I think we were the OG of social media, the original gangsters. We were like TV, reality shows. We were the ones that really went there and, were on camera and gave this trend reports. And this amazing social media that's happening right now is, I think, a product of it or enhancing by it. So it was really just fun to be a part of that whole process and see it continue to grow.
You were at the start of the evolution, really, of beauty
We
on
honestly
TV.
did the first, and that's one of the, I think, the breaking points, because I did a lot of makeovers before that, but this was really the breaking point when it was prime time, ABC, every Sunday night you could see us for 5 years and making people feel amazing and beautiful. It was mind-boggling and mind-changing, but amazing.
And it wasn't always easy, though. I mean,
No.
certainly with success comes failure.
Yeah, and I know people have heard this. Your 15 minutes of success. I don't think they realize it took 15 years to get here. I think they think it's overnight success. I think that they think that you just come to Hollywood, Beverly Hills, and you just say, "I'm here," and then someone grabs you and they make you successful. It honestly was a lot of work, but also, I had great people, great mentors that actually I stood on their shoulders and they raised me. And, and that's a process that I'm going through right now, where I'm raising stars and some of my own staff, are really propelling and making it out there.
Well, circling back to 2008,
Yes.
day you launched your first salon,
Yes.
market crashes.
The market crashes.
Hello. I'm glad you can laugh about it now, because there's certainly nothing funny about that.
Not the market crashing, but I thought, in life, you're just as lucky or unlucky.
Certainly, the
I really
irony
feel
in and
that.
of itself is hilarious. And
So my actual first salon was a salon that's still here called B2V. Fabulous. I have a partner there, Albarelli. Wonderful. We've had it for a while. I went on my own. We did Vegas, and then we went to Beverly Hills. I made it to the big leagues. I went to Beverly Hills at the Montage, which was still there. 90210, woohoo! And
let's talk about it, though. B2V, if you don't know, Los Angeles is on the border of the big leagues.
yes,
right
it
there
is
on
West
W.
Hollywood, Beverly Hills.
Your eyes were on the prize.
It was on the prize. You're right. You're absolutely right. And it was so exciting because it was my first salon, my name, everything on it. And we
Were you nervous? Were you
Of
scared?
course, of course. But I was also exhilarated, and I was really excited. And we still do have the same partners at the Montage Hotels, so we were really guided, and we had a safety net. But what was amazing, it was November 17th, 2008.
You remember it well.
So we literally were putting colors up, getting ready for our clientele, and we were told basically the market is crashing, and we're like, oh well, I don't know, what does that
What
mean?
does it mean to
Yeah.
me? So what did that look like to you, though, as a business owner?
It was a double whammy because we're in a 5-star hotel that really has affluent clients, and we did not know what was going to happen. So we had to make a choice at that moment. I had to make a choice, honestly, that weekend. A little bit of champagne, a little bit of tears that were happy and tears that were sad. I had to make a decision if we're going to go high luxury or we're going to go and just start reducing. And I decided to do really high luxury and just go into that.
What made you choose that direction?
I thought that if, I know myself personally, if I were going to go through bad times or hard times, I, let's say, wouldn't go to a dentist that was medium. I would go to the highest dentist and save up for it. I would always look at quality being, but then I wanted approachable. So we really are approachable luxury. And we made that decision like many other brands. I know Restoration Hardware made that same decision. Certain other companies made that same decision. And it's not that it's the price difference. I want to make sure that they know when I mean luxury, it doesn't mean price difference, although it is including the price.
Yeah, there's a little bit on the tag.
And
Sure.
it's a tag. And obviously you're in the center, your golden triangle of Beverly Hills. But it's also the service and certain things that we would do that other places wouldn't. And I knew that as a consumer myself, I would want those services, even if I'm struggling, those are really aspirational things that I want to do.
Well, it's interesting, you know, the history has shown that in trying economic times, the sale of lipstick, beauty products, even like pantyhose,
Yeah.
it goes up because those are the times when even, you know, we as women really choose to invest in ourselves because the times are hard and we still want to look good.
Not only look good, but I think it's an emotional thing. I don't think people realize because your hair looks great, and your hair does look great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. No,
Yes.
really, thank you.
No, but it's really an emotional thing. It's an emotional attachment, and there are times in life where you can have a rough day, but a great blow dry or a great color, or you feeling great about yourself is what is important. And we chose that direction, and honestly, it was innocence. It was not knowing. It was just a gut reaction, and that's where it led, and it was successful. Thank God. It was
Thank God.
successful.
But that's part of the reason why you chose a career in beauty in the first place.
Yeah, I would have to tell you this story. My mother, we're refugees from Vietnam, and my stepdad is a military guy, and we lived near this base called Mather Air Force Base. It's no longer there in Sacramento. My mother would go probably every 6 months or once a year to get a makeover at the salon there. And she would feel amazing when she got back. I mean, she'd radiate and she'd just look so great. And I just kept saying, I want that. I want that feeling. I love that. And that was my first exposure to what beauty can do to you. Beauty can really bring the inner beauty out of you. And, the women that worked there knew that she'd come in for that every 6-month makeover. She'd save up. And I just thought it was such a beautiful piece of this. And that's what made me want to be a hairdresser and have that same, because you could touch it, it's tangible, but it's intangible. And it wasn't about money. It was just about the feeling. That was just, it's ethereal. It was wonderful.
It's a beautiful gift to be able to make somebody feel beautiful.
Yeah, and I saw it from my mother working 2 jobs, working really hard, and then she gets this one day where she feels amazing. And that's one of the things it's passionate for me.
But what's interesting is that they don't teach business in beauty school.
Oh,
so
well,
you
it's
go
a
to
hard
beauty
knocks,
school.
honey.
But how did you learn the business of it?
You sleep your way to the middle and you claw your way to the top. No, just kidding. No, I
you're
really
no.
don't. Maybe. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm actually pretty good. No, it's really one of those things that it's a gut feeling and you've got to react towards that. I've always said this philosophically, your brain sometimes thinks too much, so it can be toxic. Your heart is very emotional, so it's a roller coaster, but your gut is always right. And sometimes your gut, you don't like it. I don't like my gut half the time.
Most of the time I don't either.
I'm like, no. But you go with your gut, and it really can guide you through some tough moments. And like I said, at 2008, November 17th, that was one of them. My gut said, Kim, you can either go low end and just say, hey, we're at a high end place, let's discount, or let's go really premium like you normally planned. Let's just go for it and service and do great hair.
Well, in this day and age, so many people, influencers, bloggers, are making creativity their business.
Right.
What advice would you give to the people who are going on that endeavor?
Be true and passionate to yourself. I never went to this business to make money. Is that weird? I really went into it because I love it. And I know there's always some cheesy sayings that, if you love what you do, you never work in life. But I really think it comes from the heart and the real place where I really don't feel like I'm working. I get to talk to my clients. I get to, live a life and, really make the American dream. So I think creativity-wise, if you keep passionate and true to yourself, I think you'll always be true. Now, if it makes money, that's a bonus.
Even better.
I know, even better. But I think you just have to be true to yourself because we're all unique.
And what's so special about you, and I admire this truly, is that you've created a community of very talented artists around you as a mentor.
Thank you. Yes. I was so fortunate myself to have amazing people like Christophs and Laurent from Privé, and in New York at The Spot, which was a Bumble and Bumble company, that they really guided me through this, this guerrilla, warfare of hairdressing. And it's great to see my own staff, Rick Henry, who does Katy Perry and goes on tour with her. I myself do Britney Spears, and when I can't, we send one of our staff. So it's great to have this community that has grown beyond me. and they're able to do things and travel and really, explore their inner creativity.
What do you think you've learned from being a mentor? What do you think your mentees have taught you?
And it's so true. The teacher always learns right from the student. Honestly, we all have a place, and it's paying forward is the best thing. I think doing a mentorship isn't, you're called to do it. Like, I don't think I ever thought I was going to be a mentor. Is that weird? Like, I never sat there and went, I can't wait to teach people. But I think when you have great advice, or you have some advice, and people take it and they truly take it to heart, and they're successful by it, I think that's really full circle, and that's what happens.
There's something so powerful about the validation you receive when you do tell your story and you share your talent. I think even me personally, it's like you hesitate from opening your heart or your world and sharing your story. And when you do, you truly change people's lives.
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, being a refugee from Vietnam, my mother and I came here, and to be able to have the American dream, I don't think people right now know what the American dream is. I'm not saying anything political. I'm just saying I think the American dream is a little bit fogged up right now. I think they think it's just about money. And
what is it to you?
I think it's about family, it's about friends, it's about being true to yourself, being able to be blessed to have, your art pure to what you think it is. I compromise all the time, but in my art, I don't have to compromise. And I think that's really one of the gifts and the beauty of it.
Absolutely. And in your art, you are working with some of the most notorious blondes. I mean, you are colorist to the stars. You have a ton of celebrity clients. Who are you working with right now that you can talk about?
Well, that's the problem. They are so notorious and sometimes scandalous that we do sign confidentiality. So I can't tell you everybody.
Why is that? I mean, let's be honest. We all get our hair done. Why do we need to be secret about it?
You know what's so funny? And I'll tell you the truth. What I've noticed with A versus B celebrities, A, they really do have a tight-knit circle. And when I do their hair, you're family. You're into it. So personal things come up. It's like a therapist.
Well, that's funny you say that, because I've always had that, like, the hairstylist is your therapist.
I'm a therapist. I'm
therapist.
Absolutely a therapist. And I definitely go there and, I'll hear things where I'm like, I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear. Here we go. Hello. Yeah, la 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 la. But there are things that you do want to hear. And I think that, and they rightfully so, I think certain ones don't want to see it out. They don't want to feel like they've got a mole in their own home. They want to feel completely safe. And that's why they do that. Other ones, they might want fame and, social media and stuff, and those are great. We have so much fun with some of them, but the ones that are really up there, the A celebrities, we definitely sign some heavy duty stuff.
Now that you broke into the makeovers, sheer genius, you're a celebrity yourself.
Oh my God, well, thank you. I don't know if I could say that. But
I'll say it for
you. Well,
you.
I know I'm recognized and I can get a table in Los Angeles. So, like if I can get a restaurant table on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock, I'm good.
What's that like for you?
It's actually it's so interesting. I think people think LA or Beverly Hills is this community that's not attached. And I really want to share with you, it's a really attached community. Like, for example, Craig at Craig's, I've known him for years. I've known him, oh my gosh, it's been like 15 years now. And he's been the same person he was back then as now. And I think that internet of community is amazing. So when people do, appreciate it, or hairdressers say, you're the best, I love you, it's great. Because, there's a lot of hard work behind that.
Well, your life, though, is certainly under the microscope, even on social media.
Yeah. Oh, the good, the bad, the ugly. Honey.
How do you deal with that?
There are always going to be haters. There's always going to be someone who can, I did a Facebook Live 2 days ago, and someone was mentioning the lighting. Well, we're at the salon. I mean, I don't, we're not like this fabulous place where you can light everything. We're literally at the salon trying to show and educate people with that altruistic, I want to help. And someone's like, your lighting's bad. So it was very much like, wow, okay. Well, the point here is to teach for free.
Yeah,
but
you're welcome.
You're welcome. Thanks. I don't know. But, I think like life, there's what was that in Forrest Gump? There's a box of chocolate, honey. You never know what you're gonna get.
Exactly.
And I think there's gonna be some nuts in that chocolate. So I think haters are haters.
You have a new TV show coming up.
Yes.
We're so excited about it. Do you think it's going to push you even more into the spotlight?
You know, I don't know about that, but I do know that I'm passionate about it is from the hairdresser's point of view, that pure, and I call it a collective consciousness, where you've got, you know, have you ever wondered why designers sometimes gravitate towards the same fashions or the same colors? And that, I really believe there's a collective creative consciousness that they draw from. In this show, we do not only hair, fashion, nails, makeup, it's the whole makeover. And that's what's exciting about it. And that's why I'm excited, because you're going to see creativity from many fields in many ways.
And we're
So-
going to see Kim Vo back on TV.
Finally, well, I've always had little bits here and there, but it's great to have like a weekly show. It'll be on the CW, probably in April, May, Sunday, primetime, 6, 8.
Do you like being in the spotlight?
You know, I don't dislike it. I just like the part that I think I'm good at it because I'm honest about it. And they're going to see on the show, I'm like Tim Guns, but with probably like an R-rated version of Tim Guns.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
we could go R-rated right now. This is LA Unscripted.
Well, okay, normally I'm a judge on like Sheer Genius and all these other shows in a competition. I'm usually the judge. This one, I'm more of the co-host or the commentary of what you'd see. And one of my comments recently was that you have to be careful because that hair could look like you've taken a sleeping pill and a laxative at once. So you don't want to blend the two. So it's funny things like that.
That is funny. I mean,
Because the hair was a
brutally
mess.
honest.
It looked like piranhas nibbled on it. But I was trying to get them in a light, loving, hearted way to get a little bit more polished. And so, like Tim Guns, where I'll get them to where they want to be, you know, the nice part about that is being able to have fun. Like
you know
that.
what's so funny about you, Kim, is that every time we have a conversation, you speak in Kim-isms.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you are kind of known for your taglines. If you would describe yourself,
Yeah.
unscripted, what would you say?
You know what's funny? I'm shy. I'm not one of those that go to a party and like goes, I'm here, although I'm a Leo. I'm not one of those. I'm really one of those people where I want that one-on-one connection. That's why I think I do well being a hairdresser, because that client and I connect. And I'm really not good with small talk. I'm actually really one of those bad dates that instantly goes into like, let's get married. And what do you think of global warming? Where they're like, I'd like a cocktail, you know?
Yeah, hang on a second, man.
Hold
Before
on.
we get married. Menu, please.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that would be one of the things that I laugh about that people might not know.
That is hilarious. Thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited for your new show, What's Next in Your Empire. For more on Kim Vo and LA Unscripted, stay tuned. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are here with co-creators of Nail and Bone, Socially Conscious Polish, Steve Weissman and Missy Bowden. Thank you so much for being here with these beautiful puppies today.
We love the puppies. We've got Mikey and Ash, right? Ash is a little growly once in a while. We don't know what's going on. She's so cute, though.
Rumor has it Ash is actually the original OG of Nail and Bone on the
Right?
cover.
Amazing.
Inspiration. Talk about inspiration, right?
Yes.
Oh, we
So
love
what
it.
was your inspiration in creating this company?
Do you want to go or?
I think, you know, Missy and I have known each other since we were 14 years old, and we reconnected 30 years later here in LA, and we both grew up in Maryland, and we're focused on different types of social impact related projects. And so I was interested in bringing a product to market. Missy had these rescue dogs with us one day over coffee, and we happened to meet the owner of the manufacturing plant for nail polish. So
Right.
that kind of
Wow.
it was serendipitous. The light just went off. Like, Missy, what about the idea of connecting nail polish with pet rescue and adoption, and trying to empower people to do good at the same time?
So basically, Nail and Bone, 20% of the proceeds go towards, you have a few different foundations, right? So you work with Best Friends, Animal Society, Animal Hope and Wellness, and SPCALA. Is that correct?
Correct.
Nice. We want to give you guys a shout out and know that you guys have done such incredible work. We really appreciate it, and we're just honored to be working with a conscious company right here with people in La La Land. This is what it's all about, you guys.
No question. Yeah. What are you guys most excited about right now in terms of the product and just the business itself? Are you enjoying the process? It's been
Yeah,
tough?
we've done, it's been really rewarding. We've done, I mean, in a very short period of time, we launched in May, and since then, we had a goal to work with a few influencers in the space who could help us. We're a very small company, so we wanted to work with people who had a much larger voice than we did and had more influencers who could get the word out. So we launched 3 different collections. My daughter's a dancer, so she also helped inspire this product. She's on our website. And so I have a lot of connections with people in the dance world. So we reached out to Melissa Gisoni, who is, and her dog Malibu. She's a big dog lover. My daughter danced at the same studio with her daughters, Mackenzie and Maddie Ziegler. And I knew she loved dogs. So I said, well, let's, try and do something with you. And so we have a collection with Malibu Ziegler and Melissa Gisoni, who's the mom. She's the dance mom, or the original dance mom. This is Malibu Ziegler right here. And she's the cutest dog ever. And she's just a really giving person. She's trying to teach her girls a lot about philanthropy. So the girls, as much as they do, they always take time to give back. But this is, their dog's product, and Melissa.
So I have to ask you guys kind of a little question. Like, did you guys get a hard time about the title, Nail and Bone? Just saying, like, people might have some jokes around that. I don't know, maybe.
Oh, what do you have, a dirty mouth?
That's right.
It is
Shame on you.
That's right.
What are you talking about?
It definitely sticks with you, right?
Yes. It's very memorable.
It is unforgettable, and it's so great that the community of LA has really rallied around this. Maddie Ziegler, you mentioned, the Focus TV family was actually at the launch, and it was at Eden Sassoon, who's also involved with Focus and Nail and Bone. It was at her salon, right?
Eden was very generous to us by offering her salon to launch Nail and Bone.
Right.
So that
And
was
speaking
fantastic.
of, we have the Focus TV magazine that you guys were in right here. So Nail and Bone, great article right here in the Focus magazine. Just really so happy you guys have you be a part of our family. Really beautiful work. And I love your jacket. Hello.
Thank you.
Who's that by? We're all
the
about
season.
fashion, right?
I know.
So this is Polish with Purpose. So hashtag Polish with Purpose. And so tell us a little bit more about, like, where can people find the brand? What is it like? It's a whole lifestyle though around it. It's not just, it's like, this is the whole thing about La La Land, is it's not just about, it's all about making a difference. It's the entire trend of conscious commerce today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, we're online mostly, nailandbone.com, and then we are in a few boutique retail shops on the west side primarily. Frankie's on the Park.
West
and
Side.
Pumpkinheads.
Pumpkinheads,
and-
Irwan in Venice,
Oh,
Love Irwan.
nice.
Natrel in the Palisades.
Great place to nail and bone. Just saying.
Talk to Aaron.
Talk to her.
I love that you're giving back, but I really want to know what inspired you to create something that is so socially conscious. Why is that so near and dear to your heart?
So I'm also involved in a kids program that's called Mac and Moxie, about charities, and we partner with charities and we convey the mission to young children between the ages of 3 and 8. But for years, I've wanted to bring a product to market that could do good at the same time. And I think that initial seed was planted probably 20 years ago at the Getty. Michael Milken was hosting an event with a lot of leaders from the nonprofit world, and he was talking about how their focus was always being diverted from their mission to go out and raise money. And so how could nonprofits successfully raise money without being diverted from their mission? And so to my thought was, well, why not bring a product to market that we all use every day and connect it to a charity? But I could never think of the product until Missy and I were having coffee one day and happened to overhear a conversation.
Wow.
And that's
love
why we
that.
started with nail polish.
And my dogs were with us
Yeah.
that day.
Aw.
I've become the woman who doesn't go anywhere without my dogs.
Yeah.
They're they're part of my life. So if I could do something to help dogs get rescued,
Yeah.
Right.
any little bit
Tell me about their story.
Well, Ash is first. I literally, it was the day after Christmas 2 years ago, and I just didn't feel very fulfilled and satisfied after all the kids had opened all their gifts. I just didn't, I thought it was a little bit materialistic. And, you know, once the gifts were opened and they played with them for a while or, you know, assessed them, then the spirit of Christmas was just diminished a little bit for me. And so I just thought, what can I do to make this more special, more meaningful, more enriching? And my daughter had been asking me for a dog, and so I said, I think this is time to get a dog. You know, I just wanted. So then we went out and rescued a dog the next day, and that was Ash. And then a year later, it was over Christmas again, and I wanted my kids to get involved in charity and over their break, and I found lots of happy homes for them to volunteer at. And through that process of just looking at dog rescue places and looking at all these dog videos and reading the stories, I decided to become a foster. And that's how I got Mikey. And
She failed.
I was gonna
right.
I was first offered to be a foster, but within an hour of bringing this little guy home,
Done.
he had had 3 homes before me in 9 months. And so I just got him home, and he was so happy to have a companion.
Oh, so happy.
So yeah, I just took these guys everywhere with
So
me.
7.6 million dogs get placed into shelters each year. I was wrong before. And 1.4 million find forever homes, and 1.2 get euthanized. Is that
So sad.
So
the number is staggering.
sad?
It's just
9,000 a day actually get euthanized. So our message, key message, is adopt, don't shop. That, you know, by adopting a dog, you're saving 2 dogs. You're basically bringing the one home, and you're making room for another one to come into the shelter.
Just love that. And I have to say, as a happiness expert, one of the things that we know for sure is adopting pets is extremely good for your own happiness. It's one of the best things you can do to increase your own happiness. So it's like everybody's winning in that situation, you know?
Very true.
Fantastic.
How have these pets changed the dynamic of your family? How has it changed your lives?
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. This whole happiness thing. These dogs
This
have
whole
taught me. I mean, you know, my career has changed a little bit in the past few years, and so I've been kind of deciding. You know, I left my world of ad sales and went into my own business, and it's challenging to open up your own business and to start it and be an entrepreneur. It's hard, and so these dogs provide happiness to me on a daily basis. We were talking earlier, and I go on a walk every day, and it's my time where I am just not thinking about anything. I'm just enjoying the moment, right? I'm not thinking about what's stressful to me for the day. I enjoy my walk with the dogs. I talk to the neighbors. I'm in nature. And, you know, it's just something that we do every day together. And I'm very happy about it. And it really helps me start my day.
Love this. It's so inspiring, your stories. You know, we've been talking a little bit off the break. On the break, we did sort of about the pets and how they've added to your lives. You know, I wonder about those folks out there that want to do something similar. I mean, folks that are inspired by your story. You've been able to pull together purpose and generosity, compassion, and happiness, and to do that in a way that's making a huge contribution to the world. What tips would you have for folks out there that want to do something similar?
Well, I mean, for me, this has been about, like, the past few years, I've been trying to connect the dots in my life, like connect, you know, the interests of me personally, the interests of my kids, and then work. How could I connect dots, right? And so this company is, you know, I've started to do more in philanthropy, so it's philanthropic. It involves the dogs, it involves girls, it involves social influencers. So it's, if I can connect dots and then do good at the same time, then it's more fulfilling. You know, it's a lot more enriching.
Love that, yeah.
Nice. Well, good, you guys. We have to take a little break, but when we come back, I want to play a little game about dogs, animals, and kind of stuff.
And nail a bone for sure.
That's right.
Now it's contagious. Whatever Aaron had, now it's spreading quickly.
Always
Get it
goes
over
a
here.
long way with people, right?
That's right. Wow.
We'll lesson out when we come back, okay? So stay tuned, you guys. We'll be right back. Okay, and we are back, you guys. Gonna play some games with Nail and Bone about the colors. How did you guys come up with these colors? We want to play some games around. We hear that on your website there's a game also, right?
Yes, it's a guessing game. So we don't tell you who's. All the dogs are named after celebrities, rescue dogs, but we don't tell you whose.
Ooh,
So
I like that.
All right, let's figure
Let's
it out.
play it.
All right.
So this one is named Wolf.
Wolf.
All right.
Oh,
All right, I'll give you guys some clues
Okay.
about Wolf's owner. Wolf's owner is a huge animal advocate. She has a TV show similar to your guys.
Vanderpump.
No.
Ellen.
No. Yes!
Jeslyn.
Yes, it is.
Jeslyn.
I'll take
Wow, that just went from here to there.
Right?
it. I got so excited.
It's an elf color
Point
too
for
for the
Ellen.
holidays.
Point for Ellen.
She's my
winning.
phone a friend on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. There's no
Right,
pop
yeah,
culture
yeah,
questions.
yeah.
That's a Jeslyn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I came too quick.
Yeah.
Okay,
Snake
who
him
do we have
quicker.
next?
So this one is Sunny.
Okay, I'll give you
Share. Just kidding.
some. Okay, you're picking all the ones,
Sloppy.
these people who have television shows.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she's the queen of talk shows.
Oprah.
Oprah.
Yes!
Oh, yeah, she's
Nice,
a
that's a
G.
good one.
That was a tie, Rob.
Dr. Aaron?
Yeah.
So I'll
No,
just
it's
go
not
ahead.
Oprah. Okay,
I'll go
sorry.
ahead and take it.
That might be the only one I get, so can I get it in the
All right, we'll try to get one.
see, we'll see.
We'll try to get one in Roger.
Okay, yeah,
No, she's gonna win. Come on.
no.
So this one is Gracie Buzzard,
Will.
I know, right?
and she is a local member of the community and a friend of the Focus family.
Rachel McCord.
And she's been in here before.
Ally Linetree.
She's been very helpful to help getting us off the ground.
Eden Sassoon.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking.
3 for 3.
Look at she. We already know. I give up.
On it.
Okay, okay.
All right, let's try to find another one. Do you want to do this one?
Yeah.
Here, this
That's a great
one
color.
is Baylor.
These are all great colors.
Baylor.
Baylor.
Baylor's owner is she's a Disney famous
Britney Spears.
person. She was a girlfriend of Justin Bieber.
Selena Gomez.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, you got it.
We'll,
All right,
we'll
Rob.
give him one just in
Yeah.
case.
Okay.
What else? Here, we got another one. All right, so this one
That's my
is
color, so I
Toulouse.
better win this one because I
better
like
win
that
this.
color.
Oh, Toulouse.
Toulouse.
Lautrec.
Toulouse's owner is a major animal advocate. She is a musician. She also was a TV star. She went on tour recently, and on her tour, her musical tour, she brought along rescue dogs, and she paid for the adoptions of any rescue dog.
We have no idea who
that
you are, but we
rescued.
love you
Katy
so
Perry.
much.
She's one of the largest
global.
Instagram, has one of the largest Instagram followers out there.
Jess knows what she's
Kate-
holding back. She's trying to be nice.
No. I'm having that moment.
No.
Katy Perry.
Katy-
Well,
Yeah,
you might know her
Pink.
because she liked to wear cat ears, even though she has 7 or 6 dogs. But she
Ariana Grande.
made, yes, she made cat ears.
Yes.
Okay, good.
That was a great tip.
I
That's what
love
we got
all
tips
this so much. I do want to ask one last deeper question because I know earlier Rob had asked what the inspiration, and in the break, you kind of had an inspirational thought around advice for people out there, and I just want you to say that again on camera.
You're so good.
I think we can be held back so many times from like pursuing our dreams or our ideas because of other people around us. And so, and I did that for many years. And so I think with Missy, when we were together, an idea popped in my head, having that confirmation from her that, hey, this might work, let's go for it. And then it just kind of snowballed. And then when Eden said she would give us her venue to launch, it was like, okay, one more thing that we could tick off as far as trying to get this to market and bring it to success, and meeting people like Andy and Aaron and you that help give us a platform to get our voice out there. And so I think you can always look to a friend and bounce the ideas off the friend. And if you believe in yourself and you think there's an opportunity, that you should just go for it. Because what's the worst that can happen? You fail and then you learn from it.
Right?
Absolutely. It's a
And the
problem.
community, I mean, you guys are amazing because you're bringing in the artists, the singers, the dancers, community focused TV, Eden, Saloon, all of this, like it's all community, right?
And creativity. I mean, that's the great thing working with these dancers. And it's not just a polish, it's really about, creating and a colorful life.
Well, yeah, and when you have your own, to speak about entrepreneurialism, when you have your own company, even though, what I think is rewarding, aside from you know, I think everyone aspires to have something financially rewarding. What's rewarding to me is being able to be creatively, you know, have my own voice creatively, and you know, bringing in these dancers, right? Leveraging these relationships that we have, and somehow saying, how can we, you know, put 2 and 2 together and use these kids and reach out to people that we know, and you know, no one's saying no.
Right.
To us, right?
No, and when
We
you
do what we
mentioned
wanna do,
the
and-
dancers, not only are they just dancers, they're the Mickey Mouse Club.
know.
They're Nia Sue. I mean, these are
know.
some of the most young and influential people in the world.
They are.
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
I know.
That's so powerful.
And they all love animals. I mean, when we reached out to these kids, a lot of times, I mean, these kids are hard to get. You know, they're working dancers and actors and singers.
Yep.
And when we reached out to them to say, hey, would you guys want to get involved with this and support? And they said, oh, it's for pets? It's for dogs? Yes. And that's what's so nice, is that, you know, so many people out there are willing to help. Animals, it's just they need to be invited.
Right.
You know,
And
it's
the
like-
kids are like change agents. I mean, they have a massive platform, and they have fans that look up to them, you know, for inspiration and to look at, you know, helping in various ways. And so when they came to us and were willing to do this video and then broadcast it out on their platform, and then like the other night at the Rio Universal event,
Yeah.
and even Rock Your Hair, Michael and Nicole O'Rourke, who founded Rock Your Hair, they have quite a following, and they opened their doors to us at one of their concert events and gave us a pop-up, which
Wonderful.
you know, which was one way that we met some more. Kristen McKay, the woman who choreographed our video.
So if there's someone out there that wants to get involved, they're like, I want to be involved, I like this whole concept, how can they get involved with you guys specifically?
So they could email Melissa at nailandbone.com or Steve at nailandbone.com.
or DM us on our Instagram or go to our website. The email's there. But yeah, a lot of what we've done have been ideas that have come to us. People come and they say, oh, I know this person. You should do this. You guys should be here. We should connect you with, because so many people want to help with dogs.
And the ideas are fantastic. You get puppies, kids. Oh my gosh,
Right.
that
Music
video
video.
just had on
Music
repeat.
video.
With yeah,
I know.
it's just incredible. I mean,
know.
I just get happy watching the video.
Yeah,
So-
well, the music video was an idea from someone we met at an event, you know, the choreographer.
You mentioned the music video. I've had it on repeat since I've watched it. Tell me about making it.
Yeah, Steve and I were at an event called a Rock Your Hair concert, and we had a little pop-up there, and a woman who was a choreographer came up to us and said, I love dogs, my dog just passed away. I am Nia Sue's choreographer, and I know Nia because my daughter danced with Nia at the Abbey Lee Dance Studio, and I said, oh my gosh, and she said, I would love to create a video for you. Let's get this going, and we'll bring these kids in to the video. So she had Nia and a couple other dancers, and then I invited some others that I knew, and you know, we had it filmed at our friend Ellen's house. Ellen runs Deity Animal Rescue. She has literally like 8 dogs at her house at any time, and she has like dog heaven for any rescue dog.
She's actually been in here too. She's part
Yeah.
of the Focus family.
Right? And who hasn't? It's over here.
Right.
So what are you thinking in terms of, like, you know, just sort of next steps for you guys? What are you most excited about, most looking forward to? Maybe-
You know, we've done these collections. We have one with Hollywood, which Halle Berry runs with Melissa Gisoni and Malibu Ziegler, and then the 3 young girl influencers.
Yeah.
But what Steve and I have talked about a lot, and we have not yet really gone down this path, but we would like to organize a brigade of young girls to become social influencers. So very similar to the Girl Scouts of America, how they go out and they sell cookies once a year at little tables at their grocery store or at a local coffee shop. We would love to inspire young girls to take on this product and set up a little table next to their local pet rescue and adoption place, take on this product, so they'll learn to be philanthropic, but also to be an entrepreneur, because they'll take product and then they'll sell it and they'll make a profit and then they'll donate to their charity of choice. Their
I
local
love
pet
that.
rescue
It's
and adoption.
amazing.
So that's
Great
our
idea.
goal. You know, when we're not busy filming music videos and doing events and doing interviews, we'll get to the brigade of social influencers.
Hey, you guys don't sleep. How do you? When do you
Right?
sleep?
He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He
right?
doesn't.
Yeah, just stays up,
Yeah.
wired,
24/7.
lots of coffee.
Well,
Yeah.
when you work with people like Gabe and Leanne, and see their energy that
Oh my
they
gosh.
bring, it's incredibly inspiring to see what they've done with their lives, and to have them as a voice inspiring all these other kids around them. And so,
And I always find it so interesting when like-minded and like-hearted people connect in that way, because you guys are so positive. You're such authentic people. You can feel your generosity in your heart. So the same love that I feel from Gabe and from Will and from Leanne, I feel from you guys. It's incredible when those kind of people link up together. I think it's just so inspiring to me personally.
Right.
You as a father, Steve, I'm wondering how this ties in. I know you have 3 boys.
the hard question.
Yeah.
Pregnant pause.
So they are taken to it now, but they don't necessarily want anyone to know what they're doing with me. So it's very different than working for James Cameron in-house and selling $100 million properties and going to New Zealand and doing due diligence for thousands of acres of land. And
Now you're naming nail polish colors.
It's like, what are you doing, Dad?
And now I'm hustling nail polish. So I tell my boys, look, you know what? You're going to learn about becoming social entrepreneurs. You're going to learn that making money isn't easy. And if something happens to me, at least they have a basic foundation of what it means relative to starting a business. And you know, it was funny. We were at Santa Monica Place a couple weeks ago at the pop-up I was there with one of my sons. They're 13, 11, and 8. And one of them, 2 hours into it, it's like, Dad, let's pack up and go. And I was like, well, let's continue. Let's see what happens. And so a few hours went by, and a social beauty influencer by the name of Jasmine Tosh, T-O-S-H, walked by. We had no idea who she was. We engaged in a long story with her. And she goes, I love what you're doing. I think this is great. Why don't you give me a couple of your collections? By the way, I'm a beauty influencer. I have over 500,000 followers. I'm going to be at Art Basel next week in Miami. And a good friend of mine's very close friends with Paris Hilton. We'll make sure to get it in her hands. This is probably something she'd love. So I think, like, at first they were hesitant to wanting to be a social. They're like, Dad, of all things, you have 3 boys. Really? Nail polish? Like, what are you thinking? So, and I view it just as a product to support a cause. And that, you know, if we can get this right, then we can go beyond just nail polish. The other thing I want to mention about the nail polish that was important to us is that it's cruelty-free, that it's vegan, that it's 8-free. And what that means is it's void of 8 toxins that you can find in other polishes that aren't healthy for you.
I was curious about that.
And that it's also made in the US. And so those were key factors for us, not only the fact that we wanted to tie it to pet rescue, but that that we could also connect with Leaping Bunny, which would certified the polish, meaning that the supply chain didn't impact animals.
I love that.
Conscious business at its best.
So where it's all on your social media, what are the handles for everything?
At Nail and Bone,
Okay.
nailandbone.com. A-N-D is spelled out.
Okay, cool. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for all your work and just you're bringing the community together, making a difference with the dogs, and just helping in so many ways. And we look forward to watching and being involved in all the endeavors.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
so much
Yeah.
for having us.
Oh,
Amazing.
yeah.
Thank you guys for
So you guys, stay tuned. We're going to come right back as we wrap up today for Good Morning La La Land. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
All right, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. What a fantastic conversation, right?
I just want to go get my nails done in like rainbow colors.
Totally.
I love what Nail and Bone is doing and that they're such a conscious company. And it makes me miss my puppy dogs so much. A shout out to Sage and Logan. I love you guys. Do you have a pet that changed your life?
I had 2 dogs growing up, both German Shepherd mixes. They both unfortunately had really tragic, like, deaths.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's super sad. But you know, the one thing I will say is, I have always loved pets because they help me relax.
What were their names?
Yeah, so it was Sadie's, And unfortunately, I was way too young. Jinx? I was like too young to understand that what you name something becomes, poor Jinx had a very, poor Jinx had a very hard life. Yeah, it was just what happened that we're, jinxed.
I had this dog named Tootsie when we were
Tootsie?
little. Okay, so we
Sounds like a
remember.
stripper.
No, do you remember that actual movie called Tootsie with Justin Hoffman?
Hoffman,
Yeah, that's a good movie.
So we went and saw that movie. It was like that whole just over the last couple of weeks, and we had loved the movie so much.
Yeah.
And then when we got our little dog Tootsie, she was a little tiny she was a little terrier slash. What was she, a poodle or something, a miniature poodle. And we named her Tootsie, which was kind of a weird name if you think about it, but I love that dog so much. That dog would run circles, one of the, when they get happy and they run around the whole room and you're like, how can you be sad with the dog running around at 50 miles per hour, taken out?
Have
So
you
true.
ever heard of that game to learn your stage name? It's the name of your first pet with the street you grew up on.
Oh.
So for instance, I would be Dusty Chaminade.
I would be Tootsie Star Route.
Tootsie Star Route.
Tootsie Star Route? Wow, that sounds like a stage name.
That's a
That's
good one.
definitely a stage name.
Jinx Dodd.
Jinx Dodd.
see,
That's cool.
That's good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
interesting.
don't know, Tootsie Stardust, though, that takes the cake for
That
me.
does
That's a
take the
great
cake.
one.
Right?
Yeah, wow.
So anyway, I think it's another epic show. We've got lots of audience in the background chiming in right now, but I just think this is the heart of Good Morning La La Land, in my opinion, just coming together, community, making a difference, creative expression, and having, a cool lifestyle with all of it, right?
And the Nail and Bone conversation was so phenomenal for me because it was sort of all of that, just sort of everything that we stand for, it was reflected in that conversation. It was purpose, it's passion, it's being conscious, right? It's happiness, it's bringing family and community together. I mean, it's pretty profound the way in which, Steve and Missy were able to do that through Nail and Bone. I think it's phenomenal.
Absolutely. And we want to know how you're doing that and having a conscious impact on the community of Los Angeles. Don't forget to tag us, on Facebook, Instagram, and leave a comment on YouTube because we would love to showcase what you're doing.
Right? And also, we have these they're 16 years old, kids, not kind of kids, teens, going towards their dreams. But look at Steve and Missy,
Yes.
you can do it at any age. You don't have to go, oh, I should have done that. You can do it at any age.
It's incredible the excuses sometimes that we all make for not pursuing our dream or not pursuing something that we care about, whether it's a relationship or whether it's something professionally or something personally. You're never too old or too young to do what you love.
It's not too late, Rob. Just saying.
Oh,
I know you. I know that you want to.
Jinx Dodd thing?
I don't know.
Jinx Dodd!
Jinx Dodd right now, man.
Jinx
I love
Dodd.
that you put it very delicately, Jocelyn, when you said it was a stage name because we used to say something
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
But yes.
Stripper name,
Yes,
just
it was
so
just,
you know,
yes,
it was a
exactly.
stripper name.
Exactly.
Oh, I always
yeah.
played stage name. That's
You're from
because
Michigan.
I'm from Michigan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We love Michigan for that reason. Very
Right?
strong. Yeah.
Okay, good. So stay tuned, you guys. We've got a great show tomorrow. So I don't know. Follow your dreams, follow your passions, and know it's all about bringing people together, community, and bringing influencers and nonprofits and all the above, right?
Yeah, do what you love.
Do what you love. Thank you for being with us today. We are streaming to you live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Good morning, La La Land.
Oh,